And last topic before we wrap, Shakur Stevenson tweeted, "I'm officially retiring from the sport of boxing. I'll be in the gym forever, perfecting my craft and helping the next generation become great and chase their dreams. But I'm not messing with this weak boxing game." So what are you guys' thoughts on his announcement?
Is he serious about?
I think he's serious.
Serious about retirement?
I think he's serious.
Oh, man.
I don't think he's done.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
First thing about retirement, I'll tell him as a young guy who's retired, don't retire, come back washed up and get knocked out. And the second thing I would tell you is you got to know from your girlfriend if she's okay with you retiring, because she got with a boxer. And if you make that change, and hopefully you're able to provide, because women can't downgrade.
I'm gonna just let you all.
I try to get wise advice.
Stat, you could downgrade?
She can downgrade because, I mean, what? Like,
no, I said, could you downgrade?
Could you downgrade?
I said.
Yes.
I don't think that's a downgrade if you want to retire from boxing.
I said if you
asked
don't
you a
have
question.
things.
I don't think that's a downgrade.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is this. I'm not asking you to be in her position.
Okay.
I'm asking you purely, can you downgrade?
If you were living with ceilings 30 feet high, and then I moved you back into a place with a 10-foot ceiling, could you live there?
Mase, don't even give her an example. Just answer the question.
Could I downgrade? The mission is to always upgrade, but I upgrade for myself. That's not dependent on somebody else.
I'm asking you, could you downgrade?
That's my answer, point blank.
So you can't.
It's dependent on me. Like, if I don't want to live in that situation, I'm going to work on that for myself.
I just realized something. We got 2 politicians on the show.
The way we've been talking about it, we're very...
They both from Jacksonville.
The delegate.
That's my answer.
Yo, Stat, all we asked was a yes or no question.
She can't.
It's not a written answer. It's a yes or no.
Yes or no.
Yes or no.
The answers aren't yes or no. Like, and that makes sense.
If you had to, can you downgrade?
If I had to, I don't downgrade. But for myself,
I think we got the answer.
So I was right, fellas.
That is my answer.
I was right, fellas. So I'm telling you, no matter how much you think she loves you, she can't go backwards with you, champ. So I'm telling you this, as a fellow retiree, as a young man, she can't do it.
No.
You know who ain't like downgrading? Stat, you know who didn't like downgrading?
Who?
Joe Smith's wife. She wasn't with it.
That's also like situational, though. You know, everybody's different people.
Listen, I'm gonna agree with Mase. It's hard I'm not saying girls won't downgrade, but if they back against the wall, they gonna go get it by all means, and then the men may have a problem with how they going to get it. Back to Shakur and them niggas real quick before we jump on this.
Yeah, killer. That mean they can't downgrade. I'm telling you that.
No, it doesn't. But we agree to disagree.
Go ahead, killer.
The whole thing about it, Murder, is this. We don't gotta go on with Stat. Once she didn't say yes, we got our answer. It don't even make sense going in a revolving door. It was a yes or no question. She said some things aren't yes or no. Let's move on. What I was going to say about Shakur is that I think whatever he's going through right now, which I don't know, is making him make an emotional decision. I don't think that he'll retire definitely. I think that his last fight, a lot of people were disappointed on him not showing a better performance. Devin Haney's last fight, Devin Haney had a great performance. As we all know, he was trolling Shakur, that is Devin Haney, going to clubs he's at, places he's at, sending him over bottles in the club with signs on it, fight me. And according to the last fights of both of them, Devin Haney looked good. Shakur looked decent. He won the fight, but it wasn't what people wanted to see. And it definitely wasn't going to get people to pay pay-per-view to see him, even though the fight was for free on ESPN. All this boils down to revenue, ad dollars, etc. And if you don't get any real money, these fighters seem like they don't want to fight. Everybody wants $10 million out the gate. And you have to work your way to that. I know it gets frustrating when you see people like Jake Paul come and make 50 million, or Conor McGregor come in there and make 125 million. They only have 4 or 5 professional fights. This goes back to marketing and promotion. These guys know how to market and promote. I know Conor McGregor was in the UFC for a long time, but you got to think about how Jake Paul got to where Jake Paul is at, making more money than a lot of fighters. So it goes back to promotion. Some promoters mess up. We just talked about how Bob Arum dropped the ball with Terrence Crawford because he said Terrence Crawford couldn't make any money. Now, I think Terrence Crawford needs to strike while the iron's hot, not necessarily wait on Spence, but figure out who he's going to fight next. But as far as Shakur Stevenson, his last performance wasn't his best, and he may be getting frustrated about what's going on about having a big fight. So I think it's emotional, but I don't think he's really going to retire.
And I don't think he's going to retire. I don't think his last fight was indicative of who he is. He's a great fighter, had a tough night. He won having a tough night. I expect, the frustrating thing about boxing, which you touched on, I want to see the best fight the best. Let's get back to that. Instead of ducking and dodging and taking the easiest route, make the biggest possible fights available and allow the fans to enjoy it.
Yeah, there's a lot of fights for him. I mean, I know a lot of times people just mention Devin Haney, but there's other fights out there. There's Javante, there's Ryan, there's also the fight with him and Teofimo. There's a lot of people not fighting each other. I think everybody's just trying to fight Devin and Javante instead of working their way up.
Fair point. Okay, well, Mark Jackson, it was a pleasure to have you.